you're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. Don't talk to, I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. All right, I'm going to go with another question. Go ahead.
So if the Electoral College does elect President-elect Joe Biden, are you not going to leave this building?
Just so you, certainly I will. Certainly I will. And you know that. But I think that there will be a lot of things happening between now and the 20th.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined by Thom Brooks. He's a professor of law and government and the dean of Durham Law School. Good to have you on the program with us. Does it seem like Trump is getting closer to accepting that he's lost the election?
I think we are a lot closer to finally to that point. I mean, he says now a lot might happen between now and 20th of January. He also said that there was all this all this fraud happening with postal ballots. He voted by postal ballot himself, so it's not against all postal ballots, just I guess the postal ballots of people who vote for somebody else. But he said that there's all this fraud happening. There's been no evidence anywhere about it. He said that observers were thrown. None of these claims have come to anything. So I think, you know, he recognizes the writing is on the wall. He's keeping an air of suspicion around things in the background, playing to some kind of conspiracy thoughts. But it looks like, you know, he gets that the end game is here, and he will be stepping down. But he's going to leave it to the very last moment before he does so.
Right. We are seeing more and more Republicans coming out, though, and saying that Biden won and it's time to look toward the future and toward the incoming Biden administration. Does that go a long way in helping to convince Trump that it is time to move on? And do you think that he will ever actually formally concede?
I'm not sure he may formally concede. If he might kind of say the words, "I wish him well," but he has so many reports now that he makes purposefully, even, you know, still that he believes he did win, actually did win the election, actually thinks he had the most the votes and all the places he needed. So I think actually, you know, he may not concede in the usual way. It will be kind of a half action, but I think in his heart of heart he knows he lost. I think the real issue is not so much what he believes or what he'll do. He will leave. He will step down. The money has already gone to Joe Biden to pay for the transition team and to get that underway. So the normal process, a peaceful handover of power of the presidency has already begun, whatever Trump says on TV or Twitter. The real problem is what Trump is doing with his supporters and feeding what seem to be lies about fraud and corruption and other things about a process where there's absolutely no evidence in any state of any instance happening. None of the court cases have come to anything. They've all been thrown out to my knowledge, or just kind of ruled out of no substance to it. But he's going to leave a lot of doubt. So he'll leave and probably in the back of his mind accept it. But a lot of his supporters will feel that they've had an election stolen from them and betrayal, and there'll be a lot of problems that Trump is choosing to sow right now, which I think is deeply irresponsible and unbecoming his office.
Given that he still has quite a number of supporters, do you think the talk of Trump possibly running for president in 2024, do you think that has some merit? Or if not, that this Trump style of politics is actually here to stay?
A very good question. There is an issue about age. A lot can happen over 4 years. He won't be as young as he was. He may not feel or be well enough to run. We'll find out about that in due course. He certainly can run again if he wanted to. That would be all right for him to do so under the Constitution. I suspect he probably won't. He's had his time. And I think he'll be wanting to kind of move on to other things. It'll be interesting to see who else takes his place. I don't think Trump politics is here to stay. So while I do think, you know, there'll be a lot of people out there, and not just in the United States, saying things to win power. You know, you hear a lot of politicians say stuff to kind of win over voters. Some of it they know to be true. Some of it, arguably, they know not. I think, you know, Trump is very much a one of a kind, and really Trumpism, if that's a thing, is really just him. You know, he is kind of what he wakes up that morning. It's It's who he is. It's his life story. It's his Twitter account. All these types of things, and what he is and what he represents is different from his children who very different states. So I think that Trumpism is not going to last. He probably won't run again, and it'll probably also be a great thing for the Republican Party that needs to rebuild.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Thom Brooks, thank you so much.